Jai Bharati. Namaskar. Today we'll have a discussion on various evolutions which has happened. Uh, the evolution models which are studied is basically the Darwin model, the biological evolution, then Maslow's hierarchy of needs, the physiological evolution needs, and the cultural and the social evolution, like evolution of the societies. And in this context, we'll try to understand the spiritual evolution or the Vedantic model or the Guna based model, which is found in Bhagavad Gita. So we'll start. So in this particular Vedantic model, we will discuss about the evolution of the inner nature or the gunas. So the stage 1 will discuss about the tamasic human, or which is tamasic is basically the inertia, the position of rest. So the tamasic guna, it's basically the dominant guna, because it the state is basically the survival state, the dependency state, and the confusion. The traits here are basically laziness, fear, ignorance, victim mindset, no clear direction, and tamas actually binds through ignorance and inertia. So here the evolution trigger is basically the pain, the struggle, and the requirement, means as per the necessity things move. So Bhagwan in chapter number 14, shloka 8, he says, so this shloka is like this: तमस्त्वज्ञान तमस्त्वज्ञानजं विद्धि मोहनं सर्वदेहिनां तमस्त्वज्ञानजं विद्धि मोहनं सर्वदेहिनां प्रमादालस्य निद्राभिः तत् निबध्यानति भारत. Here Bhagavan says that, O Arjuna, tamogun, which is born of ignorance, is the cause for illusion for the embodied souls. It dilutes all living being through negligence, laziness, and sleep. So the traits are ignorance, fear, laziness, victim mindset, no clear direction. So this is the first stage, the inertia dominated stage. The second stage is the rajasic stage, which is actually action dominated. So the dominant guna is the rajas, and the ambition, the state is ambition, desire, and lot of movement, action. And the traits are hard work, competition, desire for success, power, and desire for wealth. And the traits is also restlessness. So and the trigger here, the evolution trigger here is dissatisfaction. That is this all? Means what next? So Bhagavan Krishna in chapter number 14, shloka number 7, he says, so this shloka is like this: Rajo ragatmakam vidhi trishna sangama samodbhavam tannati badhanati kaunteya karma sangena dehinam. So here he says, O Arjuna, Rajoguna is the nature of passion. It arises from worldly desires and affection, and it binds the soul through attachment to fruitive actions. Means it sees the karma phala. So it binds with the results. Now Bhagwan here, he says that the trait is basically the uh, the hard work, and then the desire for the results also. It wants success, it wants power, and it's restless. But again it binds as per this shloka. Now the third stage is the sattvic stage, which is intelligence dominated or clarity dominated. Here the person has a vision. So this dominant guna over here is the basically the sattva guna, and the state is it has a balanced attitude, samatva bhav, then wisdom, vivek, and harmony. That is samatva. So, and the traits here is calm mind, ethical life. It seeks truth. It has compassion for others, and there is clarity. So Bhagavan Krishna in chapter number 14, sloka 6, he says, sloka is like this: Tatra sattvam nirmalatvat prakasham anamayam sukha sangena badhnati jnana sangena chan anagha. So here he says that among these gunas, sattva guna, the mode of goodness being purer than the others, means the rajas and tamas, is eliminating and full of well-being. O sinless, anaga is actually sinless. It's the way how Arjuna is being called, because he is considered to be sinless. So, O sinless one, it binds the soul by creating attachment for a sense of happiness and knowledge. So, here Bhagavan describes the this particular guna. This is the third stage. So, first was tamas, then the rajas, and then the sattva. So it's basically clarity dominated. So the traits are same: calm mind, ethical life, seeking truth, and compassion and clarity. So, and the evolution, what is the trigger? It's inquiry about oneself, that who am I? This is the trigger. Now the fourth stage is the transcendent human, where he says that from the three gunas it goes beyond the gunas. That is called as the gunatit. So here you can say from the gun base, the three stage, it goes towards the nirgun stage. So beyond gunas, gunatit. So here the traits is the witness consciousness, means actually the witness, the freedom from ego, and equanimity in all situations, that is samatva bhav. One goes beyond all the three gunas. And In Mandukya Upanishad, this state has been described as the Turiya state or the fourth state. So, in chapter number 14, sloka 20, Bhagwan here mentions. So, the sloka is like this: Guna etan titrin dehi deh samodbhavan janmrityu jara dukkhai vimakto amritam So here he says, by transcending the three models of material nature, the sattva, rajas, and tamas, associated with the body, one becomes free from birth, death, old age, misery, and attains immortality. So, this is the fourth stage. So, here the traits are it's the witness consciousness, freedom from ego, and equanimity in all this situation. So it becomes gunatit, means nirgun, without the three gunas, means the three qualities. Sattva, it's basically the intelligence. Rajas is action, and tamas is basically inertia. So now, see, this is Darwin used to say that okay, it's basically the survival of the fittest, but this is not. It can move between the first stage to second to third to fourth or in between also, and from third it can go downwards also. So that is, a person can move between stages daily, or because every time you can sometimes you are not doing normal household work, sometimes you are in sadhana, sometimes you are doing action, sometimes you are sleeping. So these are the other gunas. So these stages can be attained in a day. It can move daily, and one can have different gunas in different proportions. Like Brahman will have more of Sattva guna, the the Vaishyas and the Kshatriyas will have more of Rajas, and the Shudras they will have more of the Tamas gun, or being in inertia, or being single tasking, whereas Rajas is basically multitasking. See, most of the Vaishyas they can do 10 business together, but the Shudra will have only one business, means either he will be a carpenter or a ironsmith or a goldsmith. So it's basically single tasking. It's nothing. See, it's basically specialization of labor, and here it's multitasking. That is the only difference. So this is basically the guna based evolution, where we have discussed that tamas basically is the first stage is the inertia, second is the rajas, which is action. Sattva, it's more of clarity or intelligence, and then gunatit is the fourth stage, which is freedom. So fourth stage is actually Jnani or Rishis. Third, the Sattva stage is mostly for the Brahmins, and Rajas is mostly for Vaishyas and Kshatriya, and the state of inertia is most for the Shudra. But these four gunas can occur to a person on daily basis. Let's understand. In the morning, one can be a Jnani. Sometimes he can be a Brahmana, sometimes he can be multitasking, and sometimes he can sleep or be a single tasking. So this is how the Vedantic evolution is vis-a-vis the Darwin's evolution, which is more of a survival of the fittest. So let's see the difference. The key difference from Darwin is basically physical evolution. Guna based or Vedantic model is mostly psychological and spiritual evolution. Darwin model thinks about the survival based. This is the consciousness based. The mutation or transformation is random. Here it is intentional. Means one can always qualify from single tasking to multitasking. See, suppose you are sleeping, so you are in a mode of tamas. You can, when you wake, you can again go back to sleep, or you can go to study. So your state can change. From tamas, you can go to the sattva stage for education. So it is intentional. You can do it. One can do it. And in Darwin model, there is no final purpose. But here, there is a purpose, liberation, moksha, or being gunatit, or without any of these three qualities. Because all the three qualities are basically binding in nature. Means it keeps you, pushes you for rebirth to have those karma phalas. So this is the way our guna based evolution has worked. Hope you would like this video. Thank you. Namaskar. Jai Bharati.